Those of you who have been following my channel from the start knows that I use the Canon M50 for my videos as well as my vlogs, but I have been unhappy with the performance as well as some of the features and functions on the Canon M50, and therefore I have actually changed it to a Sony A6400 camera. One of the features that I wanted the Canon M50 to have is the ability to record good 4K. A lot of home TVs as well as gaming monitors and smartphones in general, we are talking about like the Samsung Note 8, Note 9, already have the ability to display videos in 4K, and going forward 4K will be the future, and I wanted to future-proof my videos as some of the videos will be viewed for many more years to come. However, on the Canon M50 there was just this massive crop on the 4K, which means that whatever image I took was just zoomed in so much more that it was unusable. The other problem was that in 4K, the Canon just didn't have a good autofocus system. The legendary Canon dual pixel autofocus system was just not available in 4K. When you compare this with the Sony A6400, the autofocus system is just so good. You can see that I'm moving, and it just keeps me in focus. Even when I walk out of frame and I'm walking back in frame, out of frame, and back in frame, it just keeps me in focus without any problems at all. I also found that the Sony A6400 produces sharper images than the Canon M50. It just looked a lot less muddy, and the colors just looks better for an Asian skin color. One other limitation of the Canon M50 is that it had a recording limit of only 20 minutes. And that is a problem because when I'm recording YouTube videos, I will usually record for much longer than 20 minutes because I will be making mistakes and I will be editing out those mistakes in post. However, I often find that the camera has already stopped recording and I didn't realize it. And by the time I realize it, I have to do the recording all over again. One of the good things that I like about the Sony A6400 is that it has a flip-up screen compared to a screen that flips to the side that the Canon M50 has. The looking at the top is definitely more natural than looking at the side, because very often you'll be looking at yourself to see if you are in frame. The Sony A6400 also has a good variety of third-party lenses which are more affordable than the native lenses. And for the Canon EFM system, there isn't really a lot of different choices. And the lenses from the Canon EFM mounting system just cost way more than those found on third-party of the Sony A6400 lenses. The other advantage of the Sony A6400 lenses is that it can actually be compatible with a full-frame camera in the Sony range, which means that lenses I buy today can be used on the full-frame cameras when I eventually upgrade. The other advantage that the Sony A6400 has over the Canon M50 is that it can take 120 frames per second slow motion images at 1080p. That is compared to the Canon, which only takes 120 frames per second slow motion at 720p, which is significantly lower resolution. This is how 120 frames per second looks like on the Sony A6400. However, not everything is perfect about the Sony A6400. One of the things I don't like is that the built-in microphone on this is just absolute rubbish. Just doesn't sound good. You can hear it right now on the Sony A6400 built-in microphone. I've taken out my lavalier mic and this is how it sounds like. So audio is really important to me, and I have an external microphone attached to the hot shoe here. But there is a problem because the hot shoe is located right in front of the tilt-up screen, and that means that pretty much almost half of the tilt-up screen has been blocked, and I cannot even see my levels and I cannot frame myself properly. And for vlogging, this is an important feature because you want to make sure you are in frame and whatever you're capturing is in frame. So what I've done is I have got hold of a little attachment by Small Rig. So this attachment is very light, it's only about 12 grams and it doesn't add a lot of weight to the camera setup. So as you can see here, all I need to do is put it on And now you can see that my screen is no longer blocked and I have my entire screen to compose with, and I still get the benefit of an external wireless microphone. So that is my first solution to this vlogging problem. My next problem with the Sony A6400 is that there is no in-body image stabilization. Because of that, for vlogging as I'm walking and talking, the image is just too shaky and I just need it to be stabilized. Compared to the Canon M50, which has in-body image stabilization as well on the kit lens that was given to me as part of the package, it also has lens stabilization. Because of that, it is actually usable for vlogging, but in this instance, this Sony A6400 just isn't suitable for walking and talking vlogging scenario. So to solve this problem, I got myself a gimbal. This is the Weebill Lab gimbal by Zhiyun, and it is one of the smallest and lightest travel gimbal that is available for mirrorless cameras. And you can tell that as I'm walking and talking, the image, the vlog is so much more stable. And there is a lot less camera shake because the gimbal is just absorbing all of the shakes of the camera. The gimbal also has a couple of different modes which allows me to use it better when I'm traveling. One of the default mode is the pan follow mode, which means that it only follows my left and right movement, but not my up and down movement. So it allows me to take videos like this, and you get that nice, ultra smooth look. And we also have a pen lock mode, which means that it will not follow my left and right, up and down. It will just try to look in the same direction. There is also a point of view mode on this Weebill Lab, which will just follow the natural movement of my hand. There is also a rather gimmicky VORTEX mode, quite cool, but tend to be overused. It will spin the gimbal round and round. In conclusion, I feel that the benefits of the Sony A6400 outweighs the cons and the features that are missing on this camera. I hope that you have found this knowledge and this information useful in deciding if you want to purchase this camera. And it is from the point of a non-professional and amateur, a hobbyist YouTuber that doesn't give you that massively polished presentation, but a real-life struggle and a real-life perspective on using the Sony A6400. Till the next video, see you. Bye-bye. Mic test 1, 2, 3. So audio is really important to me, and I do the camera setup. And now you can see that my screen is the camera. One of the things I wanted one of the 4K, and going forward 4K rate, when you compare this with the One of the good things that I like about the Sony A6400